DEBx, amplifying voices, accelerating change.
Please help me welcome to the stage, Dr. Shanna Briggs.
This is my dad. My dad loved to travel, hike, and spend time outdoors. Yet his lack of fitness and poor health made seeing the world challenging and sometimes even painful. The last time he and my stepmom came to visit on vacation, he was looking forward to hiking Camelback Mountain. But just the quarter-mile walk to the trailhead left him visibly winded and labored. He told me and my stepmom, "You two go ahead, don't wait on me, I'll be fine." So we took off up the mountain, bounding around rocks and stopping to take in the beautiful views of the city. But we felt bad leaving my dad behind, and we headed back early. None of us saw the view from the top that day. A year or so later, my dad showed signs of turning his health around. We started talking about going to visit some national parks and how Zion National Park has some of the best hikes in the Southwest. He said he had started going to the gym to get himself in shape and that he'd be ready to hike the mountain this time. I was happy to hear that my dad was taking charge of his health. As an avid athlete and health professional myself, it broke my heart that my own father was in chronic pain, poor health, and unable to do what he desired in life. But this conversation gave me hope. I was looking forward to our upcoming trip, growing my relationship with my dad while exploring the great outdoors. I would love to tell you that this story has a happy ending, but no. Less than 6 months later, my father had passed. Part of me wishes I could tell you that his life was tragically taken too soon by a genetic defect or some freak accident, but no. What took my father's life was an accumulation of poor health choices. At the young age of 66, with a vital, loving, beautiful wife and 6 young grandchildren, my father became one of the 60% of Americans who die from causes largely linked to our lifestyle choices. Years of processed foods, alcohol, and sedentary living had caught up to him. My father never intended to live an unhealthy life. But living an unhealthy life seems pretty easy these days. You see, evolutionarily, we got our fitness just by living out our day-to-day lives. Long before the time of smartwatches counting steps and personal trainers counting reps, we stayed active, gathering food, building homes, hunting, carrying water, and dancing around the fire in celebration. Moving was survival, was purposeful, fulfilling, and fun. We are designed to move. Yet what is required for surviving our modern environment more closely resembles the fitless humans on WALL-E, floating around on their pods, staring at their screens, drinking their refillable soda cups, than it does Tarzan and Jane running and swinging through the jungle. In the past, humans didn't have to plan for fitness. It was part of our daily lives. But we have advanced into this technological age of conveniences, where very few are required to be consistently active. In less than 2 generations, physical activity in the United States has dropped by 32%. While we can technically survive as mobile couch potatoes floating through our world of conveniences, we cannot thrive, not without movement. Life without activity fosters disease. During the agricultural era, individuals spent less than 3 hours per day sitting. Today, the average American office worker may sit for upwards of 13 to 15 hours daily. And that doesn't even count the time spent lying down to sleep. Research shows that for every 2 hours spent sitting, we increase our chances of developing diabetes and heart disease, one of our leading causes of death. And to be clear, I'm talking about movement, not exercise. So yes, while there are many benefits to exercise, public health research now shows that when paired with an otherwise inactive life, No amount of exercise can reverse the harm of sedentary living. So if you've been beating yourself up for not utilizing that gym membership you're paying for, now you have an explanation. You see, if all 7,000 members of a Planet Fitness, if you belong to a low-cost gym, and all 7,000 members of a Planet Fitness actually showed up on a consistent basis, there wouldn't be physical space. These gyms literally bank on the fact that 80% of individuals who purchase memberships in January stop coming altogether after 5 months. The reality is, fitness doesn't need to be confined to a gym. In fact, there are numerous benefits to moving your body outdoors. Increased mood, increased energy, decreased stress, and blood pressure. Yet, even with all this information about the benefits of movement, be it indoors or outdoors, what's predictable is that sooner or later, you will be stopped by that dreaded sense when you know you should move your body and you simply don't feel like moving. I imagine my father had moments sitting in the comfort of his recliner, thinking about moving, and then rather than following that instinct, he might have thought, not now. I don't wanna. Maybe I'll feel like it tomorrow. What we need to see is that waiting to feel that motivation, waiting to feel like getting fit is not likely to come without first being willing to start, even before you feel like it. As the saying goes, it is impossible to feel yourself into a better way of acting, but you can act yourself into a better way of feeling. This applies in all areas of life. We can't simply intend to save money and have it be enough to retire. And only talking about travel won't get you to Australia. Nothing really starts without action. So stop focusing on waiting to feel that motivation and just start moving. Movement is an answer to feeling better. Movement is our path to freedom in our bodies over this lifetime. Movement is how we navigate this world, it's how we connect, and it's how we play. When I think back to my childhood memories with my dad, I remember all the times we spent playing outside. Badminton, volleyball, practicing softball in the backyard. It's what I looked forward to doing after dinner and on the weekends, and it was how we bonded. Movement doesn't need to be complicated. Starting may look like standing up out of your chair after each email, doing a few squats before brushing your teeth, or the next time you go to pick something up off the ground, just pause for a quick stretch. It doesn't matter how it looks as long as we start. Movement is a choice that once we start, we must continually choose each hour and the next day, and the day after that. Eventually, over time, we become one choice, one rep, one dance step fitter until we're living a life of freedom. Freedom to climb any mountain you want to climb. I share this story of my father's health as a means to hopefully help you to see things in a new light, to bring purpose and possibility to movement and health. If you are someone who is currently active and healthy, this is your motivation to keep going. And if you're not, where could you broaden your perspective, shift your choices, and look to take a new action? That at the end of this life, you can look back and smile at all the experiences that came from being vital, active, and free. Movement is freedom. Thank you.